We are now beginning the 5th chapter of Pirki Avot, the Ethics of the Fathers. There are 6 chapters altogether. In fact, there's really only 5 chapters. The 6th is what's called a Breita. It's not really a Mishnah. But that's all. It's also interesting. So here we go. 5th chapter. Here, in this chapter of Pirki Avot, there are 23 Mishnahs, 23 laws, if you want to call it, pieces of advice. And they're arranged with numbers. First of all, it talks about 10 things. There are 10 things like this and 10 things like that. And then it says, and there's 7 things, 10 things that are 7, and then 4. Let's get to it. We'll see. Ba'asara Maimoros, with 10 utterances, God created the world. With 10 utterances, God created the world. Why did God create the world with 10 utterances? What does he have to do that for? Why? He could have created the whole world with one word. One word of 10 letters, who cares? Or just one word. God just could have just said, that's it. The whole world would have been created. Why did he have to schlep it out for 10 utterances? Let there be light, let there be the firmament, let there be. This is to punish the evil people, that they try to destroy the world, which was created in 10 utterances. Usually sinners, what's the difference between it? God is the creator, and people that don't want to be like the creator, they want to be destroyers. We saw the most amazing, clear example of this with the Germans. They were just pure, they loved to destroy things. They had weapons of destruction. They planned it out years before the war. Best planes, best guns, best tanks, best bombs. They really were devoted to it. So it says, the evil people, they want to destroy the world so they could say, what's the big deal? Let God make another world, right? It's such a big thing that. So he says, no, God took 10 utterances. He created the world with tremendous detail. God really cares about the world. So, and you want to wreck it, you get a big punishment. And also, it gives a big reward to the righteous that they sustain the world that God invested so much energy, so to speak, in, that he created with 10 utterances. Let's see what this means. Let's see the Bar Tanura. Ten utterances, 9 times it says, if you look in the beginning of the creation, it says Vayomer. Vayomer Hashem Yeor, Vayomer Yerakia, Vayomer Tachia, or it's Vayomer, Vayomer. There's only 9. It says Vayomer, Mamorot. But it says the word Breshit is also one of the utterances. Like it says, B'Devar Hashem Shemayim Nasu. So God created with 10 utterances. Evil people, they destroy the world. Shekol Amabed, that anyone who kills one Jew, it's as though he has destroyed the whole entire world. And the evil people, that invents their sins, they want to destroy people. It's like they are destroying the whole world. That's what I found, says the Bar Tanura. But what I think is Shemabdim et Olam Mamish, that they're not just the Jewish people, evil people are just trying to destroy the world. Shemachriim et Kol Olam, that they're tilting the judgment of the whole world to bad. So it comes out that the world is destroyed because of them. Right? That God looks at the world and says it's not worthwhile keeping it going. That's what they're trying to do. But the tzaddikim, they sustain the world that was created with 10 utterances. The Enu Domin is not similar, a person who destroys work that was done in one day. No. We're still in the evil people. Mabdin is only that was created. They're destroying the world which was created in 10 utterances. It's not the same thing as a person who destroys something that was made in one day to something that was made in a lot of days, right? You say, hey, you stepped on my, you broke my, my card castle or something, the castle in the sand. It says, oh, come on, it only took you 1 hour to make that. So what are you talking about? It took me 6 days to make that thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. that the evil people, they're trying to destroy the world, which was made with much more effort, so to speak, and attention by God. Let's do one more. One more. 10. All these are number 10s. The world was created in 10 utterances. There were 10 generations from man, Adam, until Noah. Huh? This lets you know how patient God was, that all of the generations were making God angry until God brought on them the flood. Then there were 10 generations from Noah until Abraham. Now, the fact is, there were many, many more years from the creation of the world until Noah. I think it's like 1,000, what is it? 1,600 years, something like that, until the flood. Give me 1 minute. When was the flood? I think it was in 1,600. Please have just one moment of patience over here. Can I find this? One moment. There it is. Okay. Here we go. Let's get this thing down. Finally, the flood. That's right. The flood was in 1,656 years after the world was created. That's when the 1,600 years. How old was Noah when the flood started? 600 years old. Never too late to make a new beginning. Noah saw his whole world destroyed and he made a new beginning. He was 601 years old. And Abraham, was how long after Noah? And the fact of the matter is Abraham lived in the time of Noah. Right? Abraham was lived while Noah was still alive. In any case, it says that there were 10 generations from Noah until Abraham, which is about from the flood, I guess. So that's 300 years. And here is 10 generations from Noah to Abram, that's 300 years. And here's 10 generations from Adam to Noah, which was 1,600 years. In any case, how you divide up, on one hand, you can say, listen, what do you mean? Before Noah, people used to live a long time. Noah himself lived how long? 900 years old. So people lived a long time. After Noah, after the flood, God said people are going to only live now from now on 120 years old. That's the maximum. Even though we see that Abraham himself lived, 170 years. He lived longer. Okay, so there was exceptions. We can explain it, but nevertheless, the generations were generally shorter. Okay, it says 10 generations were from Adam until Noah, and all of them were sinners. The world got more and more degenerate and decadent and just messed up. In general, people were stealing from each other, and idolatry was rampant. And God let them go 1,600 years to show how patient God is, that all these generations were sinning until God brought on them the flood. Then there was 10 generations from Noah to Abraham. This lets you know how God was patient, that all the generations also were angering God. And there's after Noah, things didn't change very much. People didn't really get the point. People were still sinning until Abraham came and he received the reward for all of them. Let's have a look and see what this is. Oh, here we got the explanation here. Again, the Bartanura, to let you know how patient God is. It says, don't be amazed to see how the Gentiles, they lived for so long, and in this time also, right from the time from Noah until Abraham, the non-Jews, the Egyptians, I'm sorry, one second, let's go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So it's like this. Oh, I said, after Adam, I'm sorry, let me get this in my mind. After Abraham was born, so the Jewish people went into exile, and the Egyptians treated them very badly. So it says, so you can ask a question, what type of a thing is this? If the Jewish people are supposed to be God's children, they're his sons. Even when Moses went into Paro, he said, my son, my chosen one's Israel. He told Paro that the Jewish people, that God is saying, the Jewish people are my sons. Okay, but I mean, what do you want from Paro? Paro will say, okay, if the Jewish people are God's sons, so let him take care of it, right? Obviously, your God is not so strong as you think. I mean, I'm the boss over here. I have them, and you're coming to me and asking me to release them. If your God is so powerful, let him release them. So you can ask a question, really, why did that happen? How did God give power to Paro to imprison the Jewish people and make them work for 210 years? Don't be amazed that the nations had so many years and they made the Jewish people slaves for 210 years, because there were more from Adam to Noah, 1,600 years, but eventually they got judged. Eventually there was the flood. So God doesn't do things exactly when we want and how we want, but he does it. And finally came along Abraham, and he got the reward from everyone. Abraham was the first person to really do these good deeds corresponding to what was what all the previous generations should have done. Therefore, everyone, the whole world was saved because of him. Kamo, just like he took on himself the yoke of doing God's commandments in this world, corresponding to all of them. Also, the same thing is, as he took upon himself the work, also he got the reward in the world to come. He got the reward of everyone. That everyone has two portions, one in heaven and one in hell. If he merits, so he gets the portion in heaven. If he doesn't merit, then he gets the other one. So Abraham, because nobody before Abraham used his portion in the world to come, this is the Bartanur explaining, right? It's not exactly Chassidut, but it's very valid, let's put it that way. Nobody, so everybody's portion in the world to come it was all empty, right? It was all empty. The first, right? He gets on the plane. Where this plane is going to the world to come. Okay, well, I'm sorry, I'm late. He says, oh, you're not late. There's nobody on the plane. He says, what do you mean? Your name? Let me just check the list here. Your name is Abraham, right? That's right. Well, you're the only one on the list. There are no other passengers. Everybody paid. Can't figure it out. They all paid, and no one came. Right? No one came. It's the same thing. All the world was just waiting. They have their place in the world to come, and nobody utilized it. Nobody did any good deeds. Everybody wanted to have a good time in this world. What was immediate? How do you say, I want it all and I want it now? So they got, okay, you get your portion in this world. You get big steaks and big parties and all big drugs and things like that. What about after you die? I don't know what to tell you. You know, you didn't use your coupons. No one sitting on the plane, just one guy, Abraham, right? Back those days, they didn't have masks either. Came to Abraham, put on your mask. You got the others. There's no one here. What are you talking about? There's no one here. There's no one. Why are we worried? Nobody's going to catch corona from me. There's no one else on the plane. So Abraham got the reward for all of the other generations from the beginning of the creation of the world. Not bad. Even though it's true that there is such a thing as reward and punishment, but thinking about that does not make you happy. And that's what we learned. Remember last time. It says it's better doing good deeds in this world than all the rewards in the world to come. Have a good day with Mashiach now, and God willing, we'll learn tomorrow at 8:15 in the morning.